When Claire and I stood at the altar 15 years ago, I believed we were built to last. She was the center of my world, poised, intelligent, magnetic in every way. We built a life together in the suburbs of Boston, raised 2 beautiful daughters, and grew a business from scratch, a boutique event planning agency that she managed while I handled the books. But somewhere along the way, the laughter faded. Our conversations became transactional. Nights grew colder, quieter. I chalked it up to the stresses of life, kids, bills, business. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. The truth didn't come out all at once. It never does. Instead, it trickled in suspicious texts she quickly deleted, late meetings with clients that went hours past schedule, the sudden purchase of new lingerie after years of indifference. I wasn't a fool. I knew Claire was seeing someone. But I stayed silent, gathering facts, praying stupidly that I was wrong. I wasn't. Derek Morgan, married, 2 kids, a corporate attorney who'd hired Claire to plan his firm's annual gala. He was smooth, charming in the arrogant way lawyers often are. I found out everything. Hotel receipts, emails she failed to delete, even a photograph taken by a private investigator I finally hired. She wasn't just having an affair. She was in love. The final straw? A whispered conversation I overheard between Claire and her sister in our kitchen one afternoon when they thought I was out running errands. "I think I'm going to leave him," Claire said. "For Derek, he makes me feel alive." When Claire served me divorce papers, she had already moved most of her belongings into a condo downtown. She claimed the usual, irreconcilable differences. But what shocked me most was that she was demanding full custody of our girls and spousal support. Her reasoning? I was emotionally unstable and obsessed with surveillance. She portrayed me as some paranoid husband who couldn't let go, neglecting, of course, to mention her months-long affair. And then came the real twist. Derek, he showed up at the custody hearing, not just in support, but as a character witness for Claire. Yes, the man she'd been cheating with was now testifying to my emotional volatility and controlling behavior. The hypocrisy made my stomach churn. That's when I made the call that changed everything. I called his wife. Natalie Morgan was not the naive housewife Claire had likely hoped she was. She was smart enough to have her suspicions, and angry enough to cooperate once I showed her the evidence. I met her at a cafe near Harvard Square. She wore a charcoal blazer and carried herself like someone who'd been underestimated her whole life. "Are you sure they're still seeing each other?" she asked, voice ice cold. I slid the manila folder across the table. Photos, dates, locations. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just said, "Let's bury them." It was the second day of trial. Claire's attorney was relentless, painting me as a bitter, jealous man clinging to a dead marriage. Derek took the stand, looking polished and righteous in his tailored suit. "I've seen the way Mr. Holloway speaks to Claire," he said, as though he wasn't actively destroying my family. "He's controlling, dismissive, and often passive-aggressive. Claire's confided in me about feeling unsafe." Claire nodded solemnly. Then my attorney stood. "Mr. Morgan, are you married?" Derek shifted. "Yes." "And your wife's name?" He hesitated. "Natalie. Would you say you are faithful to her?" Objection. But the judge was curious. Where is this going? That's when Natalie walked into the courtroom. Her heels echoed like gunshots. She sat composed, unflinching. We called her to the stand. Natalie's testimony dismantled the narrative Claire and Derek had carefully constructed. She described the late-night text she found, the hidden credit card charges, and the phone calls Claire made while Natalie and Derek's children slept down the hall. "I had no idea my husband would be here today," she said calmly. "Had I known, I would have brought the hotel receipts." Claire's attorney tried to object again, but it was too late. The damage was done. Derek stared ahead, silent, his composure cracking. Claire looked like she'd swallowed acid. The judge recessed for deliberation. I didn't win everything. No one ever really does in divorce court. But I got joint custody of my daughters, the house, and the lion's share of the business. Claire once tried to claim I mismanaged. Her demand for alimony? Denied. The judge even included in his ruling that Claire's lack of transparency and extramarital entanglements cast serious doubts on her credibility as a primary custodian. After the ruling, Claire tried to approach me in the hallway. I didn't stop walking. "You humiliated me," she hissed. I turned slowly. "You did that yourself." Derek moved out of Natalie's house within the week. She filed for divorce 2 days later. Claire stayed in her downtown condo. Her reputation in shambles. Word spread quickly in Boston's event planning circle. Clients don't like scandal, especially when it involves courtrooms and cheating lawyers. As for me, I focused on my daughters. I rebuilt the business. I healed, slowly. Some nights I still lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how a marriage that began with such promise could fall so far. But then I remember something Natalie told me over coffee, the day after the trial. They thought they were the smartest people in the room. Turns out, they forgot we were in it too.